Hi there, everybody. Welcome back. We've got the Cardinals and the Cubs here today in 1908. Cubs are down to only a one-game lead in the National League. Just a game over the Giants and 3 over the Pirates, as both the Cubs and the Pirates have been on small losing streaks recently. So it's playing out mostly pretty close to real life. Around this time in real life in 1908, the Giants, I believe, were actually in second place. The Cubs were in first place. We have a long season to go ahead of us. Ed Kenichi leads this one off for the Cardinals. He rolls a 56 for 32. It's a fly ball over to right field, and it's going to be Schultz who has that for the out. One away. Red Murray now rolls a 36 for 14, and he will take his base on the walk. Interesting thing I've noticed is, so this is Monday here in 1908. I was up a little bit late last night putting together updated lineups. The interesting thing I noticed is that there are a number of infielders, especially shortstops, who are hitting quite well in this league. That's unusual. You see a lot of outfielders who end up hitting 7th or 8th, and in real life you had a lot of outfielders who were weak hitters. Interesting how things have changed. Delahanty rolls a 61. See if I can type it in right. 61 for a 27. Hit and run ground ball. So ground ball over to third base, and it's going to be Steinfeld. Grabs that, throws to first for the out, 2 away, and Murray moves up to second. 2 gone. Here's Patsy O'Rourke, and he rolls a 63 for a 30. It's a fly ball to left field. Sheckard's there for the out, and we go to the bottom of the first. It's going to be Johnny Evers here for the Cubs, and Evers rolls a 56 for a 14. He'll take his base on the walk. That'll bring up Frank Chance. Very interesting, by the way, to see how things are different. I was poking around a little bit last night on Baseball Reference, and noticed that when I would look at just random shortstops in 1908, I saw a lot of guys who actually could hit relatively well, especially given what the era was like. So odd things that you probably don't think much about because you probably haven't looked at it that much. Frank Chance rolls a 53 for a 19. He's hit by the pitch. That sends Evers to second. And here comes Jimmy Sheckard. Sheckard is hitting okay. I feel like the average, but it's that OPS that has him hitting third. And I do wish that Skeetersoft would allow you to list players by OPS instead of having to eyeball on-base percentage plus slugging percentage. Sheckard rolls an 11 for a 0. And then a 42 for a 6. That's going to be a double left center field that will score both, and it's 2-0 Cubs just like that. Cubs are eager to get this straightened out here and get some hits. Here's Jimmy Slagle with Sheckard on a second. He rolls a 45 for a 14, and Art Frum is really having some problems. 2 walks so far in this game, only in this inning, by the way, bottom of the first. Johnny Kling is up there. And Johnny rolls a 63 for a 31. That's a fly ball over to center field. Shaw has it for the out, 1 away. Here's Joe Tinker. Tinker hitting 250 and kind of... not many walks there for Tinker. It's a little bit of power, not much. Tinker rolls a 13 for a 39. That's the way you're not getting your walks, and he hits into a double play. That goes over to the left side. Byrne has it and throws over to Gilbert and on to first for the double play, and we go to the top of the second. It's Bobby Byrne who leads this off. He rolls a 14 for a 43, and the Little League rolls a 21. That's going to end up being changed to an 18. That's an error on Tinker. And so the Cardinals do have a runner on to lead off the top of the second. Here is Bill Ludwig. He rolls a 43 for a 29. That's going to be a comeback over to overall. He's going to turn around, go to Tinker covering at second for the out, and relay to first not in time. And Ludwig is there on the fielder's choice. 1 away. Here's Al Shaw. Shaw rolls a 56 for a 32. It's a fly ball over to right field. Schultz has that for the out, 2 away, and Billy Gilbert is up. And he rolls a 42 for a 13, and that's a strikeout. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Harry Steinfeld is up. Steinfeld rolls a 13 for a 14, and he'll take his base on the walk, and that'll bring up Wildfire Schultz, who's not hitting at all, so he will bunt. His bunt is a 43, for a 29, which means that it's bunted to the right side, and Kenichi grabs that and goes over to O'Rourke, covering at second to get the lead runner, 1 away, and here is Overall. Overall is hitting 417 so far this year, so we'll let him swing. He rolls a 64 for a 13, so much for that. 2 away, and here's Johnny Evers. Evers rolls a 33 for a 7. That's going to be a single, and that will send the runner will attempt to go to third, but he is thrown out. Good play there by Shaw, throwing him out. That's the second hit for the Cubs, and that's the end of the inning. We go to the top of the third. It's Art Frum up there, and he rolls a 32 for a 26. It's a ground ball to second base, and Evers has it, throws to first for the out, 1 away. Ed Kenichi is up there now. He rolls a 61 for a 41, change to 39. That's a strike. Next rolls a 22 for a 7, and the Cardinals finally have a hit here at top of the third inning. That'll bring up Red Murray. Murray's roll is a 34 for a 44. A little fly ball over to center field, and Slagle will hold, 2 away. Kenichi, by the way, we're not going to do any optional base coaching. This is what we want to do. He has those 10s, but not the 11, which is why we didn't have him hit and run. Joe Delahanty up now, and he rolls a 12 for a 24, and the little E rolls a 36 out of the range again. That's going to be a ground ball over to Tinker, flips over to Evers for the force out, and we go to the bottom of the third. It's Frank Chance up there. Chance rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out, 1 away. Jimmy Sheckard is up. Sheckard rolls a 64 for a 13, another strikeout, 2 away. Third strikeout for Art From, and here's Jimmy Slagle. He rolls a 55 for a 9. That'll be a single for Jimmy, and that'll bring up Johnny Kling. Kling hitting 231, 0 for 1 in this game. Rolls a 34 for a 44, a little fly ball over to center field. Shaw has that for the out, and we go to the top of the 4th inning. It's Patsy O'Rourke in the top of the 4th for St. Louis. O'Rourke, who was hitting leadoff earlier, not anymore, hitting 149, rolls a 56 for a 34. Little E rolls a 42, and that's going to be a little pop-up over to the shortstop, Tinker, for the out, 1 away. Bobby Byrne is up there. Rolls a 34 for a 44, and the little E rolls a 54. It's a fly ball over to center field. Slagle's there for the out, 2 away, and here's Bill Ludwig. Ludwig rolls a 21 for a 30. It's a fly ball over to left field, and Sheckard's got it for the out. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and it will be Joe Tinker to lead this off. Joe Tinker rolls a 13 for a 39, changed to 37, and that's going to be a W base on balls because From has that W. Walk number 4 given up, and that'll bring up Harry Steinfeld. From already 25 strikeouts, 19 walks this season. He's been doing a lot of it himself. That's that 3 true outcome, isn't it? Steinfeld rolls a 62 for a 12, and that's going to be another walk. So that's walk 5, number 5 given up. That'll bring up Wildfire Schultz, who again is going to bunt. He rolls a 41 for a 28. That is a bunt to the left side. Byrne has it. He throws over to first for the out. Both runners move up. There's 1 away. Infield will come in. Overall, what do you think? With a 2-0 lead, I'm trying to think. Do you bunt with overall? Do you have him swing away? Let's bunt. Let's have some fun. And he rolls a 16 for a 28. That's going to be a foul strike. We'll try it again. Next roll is a 21 for a 30, and that's a good bunt over to the left side. Byrne has it. No way to get the runner at the plate, so he goes to first with it. Steinfeld moves over to third, and it's a 3-0 game with 2 outs, and here's Johnny Evers. Evers rolls a 44 for an 8. That's a fly ball to right field. Murray has it for the out, and we go to the top of the 5th. I think that may be the first time we've had a sacrifice squeeze like that work, and we go to the top of the 5th. 3-0 Cubs. Here is Al Shaw, rolls a 62 for a 12, and that's a ground ball over to Chance at first. Does it to the bag himself, 1 away, and it's Billy Gilbert. He rolls a 12 for a 24. It's a ground ball over to Tinker at short. Throws to first for the out, 2 away, and it's Out From. He rolls a 56 for a 34, and that's going to be a pop-up over to Tinker, the shortstop. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Frank Chance is up there. Chance rolls a 21 for a 30. It's a fly ball to Delahanty on left. He's got that, 1 away. That'll bring up Jimmy Sheckard. And Jimmy rolls a 32 for a 26. Ground ball over to the second baseman Gilbert. Throws to first for the out, 2 away. It'll be Jimmy Slagle this time, and he rolls a 13 for a 14. That's walk number 6 given up by Ard. And Johnny Kling is up now. He rolls a 35 for a 9, and that's going to be a little ground ball that Kling's able to beat out. That will send Slagle to second, and that's hit number 4 for the Cubs. Here's Joe Tinker now, runners on at first and second, and 2 outs bottom of the 5th. He rolls a 43 for a 29. That's a comebacker over to From, throws to first for the out, and we go to the top of the 6th. Well, I'll tell you, the Cardinals, if they want to have a chance at this one, need to get some sort of offense, and they haven't had anything today. Kenichi rolls a 42 for a 22. It's changed to an 18, and that's going to be an error on Tinker, the shortstop, so that's something. We'll bring up Red Murray. Now, we looked at Kenichi before. He doesn't have that 11, and so we're not going to hit and run. Murray rolls a 45 for a 14. And that is the second walk that overall is given up. And that will bring up Joe Delahanty, runners on at first and second. Delahanty not hitting super well, but nobody's hitting well for the Cardinals. Delahanty rolls a 53 for a 17. He's hit by the pitch, and that will load the bases. And up next is Patsy O'Rourke. O'Rourke, who's probably sore with me for taking him out of that leadoff slot. O'Rourke has no slugging at all this season and has been getting on base. All he would need here is a walk. He rolls a 44 for an 8, and that's a fly ball over to center field. Slagle has it for the out. That is deep enough to score Kenichi, and that makes it a 3-1 ball game as the Cardinals are finally up on the board. Up next, Bobby Byrne. Bobby rolls a 56 for a 34. It's going to be a pop-up over to the third baseman Steinfeld for the out, 2 away, and Bill Ludwig now the hitter. And he rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 3-1 Cubs. Cardinals had the bases loaded, by the way, didn't get a single hit that inning. and they scored a run. Steinfeld leads this off for the Cubs, rolls a 22 for a 7, and he shows you how easy it is to get a base hit. This is the 5th hit for the Cubs. That'll bring up Wildfire Schultz, who has bunted, I believe, both times today. His roll is a 66 for a 0, and then a 15 for a 6. That's going to be a double, and that will score the runner, make this a 4-1 ball game, and that will bring up Orville Overall, the runner on at second base. We're going to have Overall hit away, and he rolls a 44 for a 9. That's a single that will score the runner, and that makes it a 5-1 game, and he rewards me for my patience with him. That'll bring up Johnny Evers, and Evers rolls a... had to check on that one, 52 for a 27. That's going to be a ground ball over to the third baseman, Byrne, who goes to second to Gilbert for 1. Relay to first, not in time, and there's 1 away. Here's Frank Chance, 5-1 Cubs here, bottom of the 6th. Chance rolls a 55 for an 8. That's a ground ball again to Byrne, who goes to first with it this time, and Evers moves up to second. 2 gone, and it's Jimmy Sheckard. He rolls a 41 for a 28. That's a ground ball to O'Rourke, the shortstop, who goes to first with it for the out, and we go to the top of the 7th. 5-1 the score. We're going to take Art Fromm out when his spot comes up. He's been giving up walks left and right. Shaw rolls a 35 for a 9. There's a single over short, only the second single or second hit of the game. I should say single. I think they were both singles for the Cardinals. I'll bring up Billy Gilbert, who, as you can see, we're going to bunt with. And the roll is a 53 for a 20. It means that bunt is a good bunt over to the right side. Chance has it, throws over to Evers, who drops it. Gilbert is safe on the air, and that'll bring up Art Fromm's spot. And, yeah, we want to make sure that we pinch hit here. Cardinals have a chance to do something. I'm looking through this roster, and I can't find anybody who can hit. This is pitiful. And we're not going to put Bliss in the catcher. We're going to put Shad Berry in as the pinch hitter. Shad Berry comes in to pinch hit. He is 0 for 4 this season. Hasn't had much of a chance to do much of anything. This is one of those players where I look at this stuff here, and I think, man, maybe he should be starting. I don't know. Maybe he should be playing in one of these outfield positions. I mean, do we take Shaw out? Do we take Murray out? I don't know. But we'll play this by ear. This is where replays can become difficult if you don't use real-life lineups. Here's Barry, and his roll is a 22 for an 8. That's going to be a ground ball to the left side. And Steinfeld has it, throws over to first for the out. The runners move up, 1 away, and here's Ed Kenichi. We may keep Barry in this ball game depending upon what happens. Kenichi rolls a 51 for a 9, and that's going to be a fly ball over to right field. And it's Schultz who has that for the out, but the runner tags and scores. Both runners move up, 2 away, and here is Red Murray. Murray hitting 291. Not the best defensive outfielder in the world. That's why I'm thinking of putting Barry. And his roll is a 61 for a 30. It's a fly ball over to left field, and Sheckard has it for the out. And so we're going to do this here. So Barry is going to change his positions, and he will go to right field. And so I've had to learn how to do this, and we're going to change Murray for a pitcher. And this is where we can choose whoever we want. And I think we're going to... See, I know from looking at these names, I know the guys I've used before. Yeah, we're going to change this over to Slim Sally. Now, for Skeetersoft, you have to make sure you do this. You have to make sure you undisplay the card and then go back and choose it like that. So Sally's in as a pitcher, right? If you do it wrong, then your box score will be all glitched out. So that's the way you do it. Here's Jimmy Slagle. Slagle rolls a 52 for a 27. That's a ground ball over to the left side. It's Byrne who has that. Throws to first for the out, 1 away. Johnny Clean now rolls a 23 for a 32. It's a fly ball to right field, and Barry has that for the out, 2 away, and Joe Tinker's up, and he rolls a 14 for a 43. The little E roll is there. It's a 23, just out of the range. It's a fly ball to Delahanty on left, and we're going to go to the top of the 8th inning. Apologies. Wait for me for a second. Alrighty, here we go. Top of the 8th inning, and it's going to be Joe Delahanty leading this off for the Cardinals. Delahanty rolls a 36 for a 14, and he'll take his base, so he remains at 0 for 2 today. And that brings up Patsy O'Rourke. O'Rourke is also 0 for 2, had to sacrifice his last time up. And trying to think about what the best course of action is here. I mean, there's not really much that we can do with the slow runner on. Don't really want to hit and run. We'll run into something bad. We don't want to bunt. We're down by 3. And so here we just swing away. It's a 54 for a 45. It's a fly ball over to right field. Schultz has it for the out, 1 away. Bobby Byrne now comes up, and he rolls, look at that, 66 for 0. Over 3 today as Byrne was on an air, and he then rolls a 44 for a 6. That's a double, sending Delahanty over to third, and that will bring up Bill Ludwig. Overall has moved down to a C. Ludwig comes up there as 0 for 3. Everybody's 0 for something here in the Cardinals. That's what it feels like. And the infield will stay deep. Ludwig's not going to bunt, doesn't help you much, but with that 0.87 average, you've got to wonder. He rolls a 42 for a 13 and strikes out, and that's his second time striking out so far today. Strikeout number 3 only for overall, so he's got Ludwig's number. 2 away, and here's Albert Shaw. He will roll at 45 for a 14, and he'll walk, take his base, and that brings up Billy Gilbert. Gilbert, 127 is his average here, and see what he can do. He rolls a 36 for a 33, and that's a line drive over to Chance, the first baseman. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. So the Cardinals had a chance there, but not a good enough chance for sure. And here's Harry Steinfeld. He rolls a 66 for a 0, and then a 61 for a 6. So it's the pattern that we've seen so far, which is that the Cardinals make it close, and then the Cubs come back with big bats in the next inning. Up next, Wildfire Schultz rolls a 63 for a 30. It's a fly ball over to left field. Delahanty has it for the out. 1 away, and here's Overall, the pitcher, who's 1 for 2 today, hitting 429. Why bunt? And he rolls a 62 for a 12, and that's a strikeout. And that's the reason why you bunt. 2 away, and here's Johnny Evers. Evers hitting 321. Good on-base percentage, good slugging percentage, and he rolls a 12 for a 24. A little E number comes up. It's a 16, and that means it's going to be an error. That's an error on the right fielder, Barry, and that allows the runner to score. It is 6-2. So Barry was the defensive replacement, and he's given up an error, allowing the Cubs to get to a larger lead. Frank Chance now, who is 0 for 3, rolls a 12 for a 25. There's a little E rule. It's a 31. Ends up being a ground ball over to the second baseman, Gilbert, who flips over to O'Rourke for the out, and we go to the top of the 9th inning. So 6-2 now the score in favor of Chicago, who look like they're going to snap that small losing streak. Chad Berry rolls a 23 for a 26, and he grounds out over to Evers, who throws the first for the out, 1 away. Ed Kenichi now rolls a 16 for a 26, another ground ball over to Evers, and he throws the first for the out, 2 away. And it's the pitcher's spot due up, and Hulskutter, the catcher, who we've started quite a few times, will come up. Not much of a hitter, but nobody is, and he rolls a 51 for a 9. There's a single, only hit number 4 for the Cardinals, and that'll bring up Joe Delahanty, runner on at first base. The Cardinals, Delahanty rolls a 16 for a 26. That is a ground ball again to Evers, who will flip over to Tinker at the bag at second for the out, and there's your ball game. Cubs win this one pretty decisively, 6-2, and will go to 15-5 and maintain their lead in the National League. And it's still heating up here. It's fairly close. We'll see what the Giants do a little bit later on, and we'll keep our tabs on what's going on. Final score again, 6-2. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.